Hello, buenas noches, ¿cómo está? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to be doing something that is really highly requested for me to show the builds of some of the characters or the characters that I use the most whenever I stream or whenever I post YouTube videos. I won't really make this intro too long, so let's just dive right into it. Now, to start off, I want to talk about the character that I use the most, probably in every single boss or every single fight that I do, is Zhongli. My Zhongli does have 34,000 health. He is level 90 and he does have 1700 attack. His artifacts, I am running a 2-piece Noblesse and a 2-piece Archaic Petra because I do use my Zhongli as a kind of support DPS. I don't really use him as a physical DPS or a main DPS character. I wanted the 2-piece Noblesse and the 2-piece Archaic Petra to be able to do more damage whenever he ults. Right now, Zhongli's ult, depending on the enemy and their resistance, does somewhere between 42,000 to 90 to 100,000 whenever I pair him with my Bennett. For his weapon, I do have a level 90 Skyward Spine. I currently have a 40% crit rate with a 100% crit damage. It is recommended, especially for those players that are new coming into Genshin Impact, that you don't really focus too much on crit damage. Yes, you do want crit damage. You want to have a good ratio between crit rate and crit damage. The reason being is because if you have 170% crit damage, whenever you do proc your crit, you're going to do a lot of damage. But if you have a crit rate of 8%, you're almost never going to proc that damage, and you're not really going to be able to do the most damage or do damage at your fullest potential. Now, with the artifacts that I have on it himself, I did decide to stack HP on his circlet and his sands. On his goblet, I wanted a geo damage bonus because his ult does geo damage. I did try to stack crit rate, crit damage, or attack percentage into his substats because I was going for more of a support build. I wanted his shield to be able to be larger, which is why I stacked HP on his sands and his circlet. Right now, my Zhongli is one of my favorites and literally one of the characters that I use the most. Next, after him, I have Keqing. Keqing I as well use the most. She is an electro DPS. I do currently have with her a crit rate of 68%, almost 70%, and a crit damage of 190, which is why that crit rate is really important, because then I would never proc this crit damage. For her weapon, I do have a level 80 Refinement 2 Black Sword that you get from the Battle Pass. The reason being is because I needed more crit rate on her. I do have an Aquila Favonia, but when I put the Aquila Favonia on Keqing, especially being Electro DPS, she actually did less damage than with the Black Sword, which is why I kept it on her. For her artifacts, I am running a 2-piece Gladiator because it gives an 18% attack buff, and a 2-piece Thundering Fury because it gives an 15% electro damage. I'm using her as an electro damage character. On her artifacts, I do have a lot of crit damage, but if I was able to put crit damage and crit rate together, I was doing so. I do have a attack percentage sands. I have an electro damage bonus goblet, and then I have a crit rate circlet because I needed that crit rate so desperately. Right now, my Keqing, depending if, for example, if I don't use Bennett with her, she does maybe 25k in her full combo, 25 to 30k in her full combo, depending on the enemy, and then she does upwards of 40 to 50k damage whenever she's paired with Bennett or somebody that buffs her actual ult. I do wish that they buffed Electro as a whole is just really weak compared to all of the other elements and the elemental reactions. So hopefully they'll be doing that soon. My next character is Miss Klee herself. She currently has her own event that is going on. My Klee currently has 2,300 attack. She could probably have more, but I don't have any 5-star weapons. I am currently using Dodoko Tales on her, which is a book that is tailored specifically to her. Her artifacts are a 2-piece Crimson Witch and a 2-piece Gladiator because I wanted that attack percentage buff and also that pyro damage bonus because Klee's attacks are almost all pyro damage. For her actual stats, I have an attack percentage on her sands. We have a pyro damage bonus on her goblet. We have a crit rate because her crit rate was a little bit lower compared to the other stats that she had. Right now she has a 59.8% crit rate with a 97% crit damage, which I think is pretty balanced. And then for her sub stats, like I said, I focused crit rate and damage, attack percentage if I was able to, because she is literally just DPS. She doesn't really have any other function off of the field, especially when her ult goes off. She has to be on the field and has to be able to pump out the damage whenever she can. And then lastly, I'll go ahead and cover my Bennett. I will let you know, don't flame me for my artifacts. Bennett's artifacts, some of them are 0. We have 9, 8, 16, and 20. The reason why is because I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of resources putting them into artifacts that I know are not going to be good for him or are not going to be the best for him. I do have a level 80 Skyward Blade that I had pulled, and it's his best weapon. I am printing a 4-piece Noblesse set on him, and that is because a 4-piece Noblesse set using an elemental burst increases all party members' attack by 20% for 12 seconds. So you usually pop Bennett's ult, and after you pop his ult, you immediately switch to your DPS characters, set off elemental reactions to be able to pump out the damage as much as possible, which is how I'm able to hit like 90 to 100k with Zhongli. On his actual stats, like I said, I'm kind of still working on building him. I have attack percentage on his sands. We have HP on his goblet. We have healing bonus on his circlet, but it's level 0. All of his other things are elemental mastery or energy recharge, because you want to be able to have his ult up every chance that you can. Because if, for those of you that don't know or that don't have Bennett, Bennett's ult not only will buff your character's damage, he will also heal them. So you want to be able to pop his ult as frequently as you can so that you can keep 1, your team healed, and 2, buff your team up as much as possible. His ult also has almost no cooldown because, for example, his ult has a duration of 12 seconds and his cooldown is 15 seconds. Literally, you only have a 3-second interval from where you won't have ult. So if you have that high amount of energy recharge, then you'll be able to get his ult more frequently. But if you do want to use Bennett, for example, as a support to buff your team, you do need to stack attack on Bennett because he does scale off of attack percentage. The more attack that he has, it will be a bigger buff that he will give to your team. If you would like to know any other of the builds of some of my characters, please make sure to leave them in the comments down below. I will try to get these videos out as soon as possible, but I am currently enrolled back in my college classes, so it has been really hard for me to be able to make content for other platforms, for example my TikTok or my Twitch, and then also put content out on YouTube. Please make sure to follow me at my other social medias, TikTok, Instagram. You can always join our Discord. We are always there to be able to just chat. Or if you have any questions about artifacts or what builds you should use, or for example, what characters you should run together, we would be more than happy to be able to answer any questions that you might have. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I upload any type of video, and we will see you next time.